Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at how to buy a stock on Fidelity. So we'll walk through how to fund your account, how to actually buy or sell a stock or an ETF for the first time, and then we will also take a look at how to turn on dividend reinvestment. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and let's go ahead and open up Fidelity. Okay, so starting with funding your account, you're going to go to that Accounts and Trade tab at the top, select Transfers, and from here, this is the page where you can manage the bank accounts that you have connected to your Fidelity account. This is where you can manage your automatic deposits and withdrawals. So we're going to start with actually connecting a bank account. So we are going to select the option over on the left, which is deposit, withdraw, or transfer money. If you're connecting a bank account, you'll want to select link a bank account, and then we can go ahead and press continue. This is going to take you through some security steps. That way they can make sure that it's you that's actually connecting the bank account. So you'll either get a text message or an email or a code sent to you somehow, and we're going to go ahead and click next. So from here, you'll be able to choose if you want to do an electronic funds transfer, a wire transfer, etc. And then we can start actually entering our bank information. So first you will click link a new bank, and then you'll just need your routing number, account number, and your account number again. And then you would agree and continue, and that is that. After you're done doing that, to make sure that it actually went through, you can go back to that same transfers page, and from there you can click on view pending transfers. And if you deposited money, this is the page where that deposit should actually show up. If you wanted to connect a bank account to go ahead and set up automatic investments, you would go back to that transfers page and select that second option in the middle column. And this is where you actually have the option to go ahead and set up those automatic investments. So now let's go ahead and take a look at how to buy a stock. There are actually a couple of places on the Fidelity site that you can go to make a trade, but we're going to start by going back to that same Accounts and Trade tab, and we're just going to select that trade option. From here, you'll select which of your Fidelity accounts you want to buy or sell from. You can set that as the default. And then when you go to the next page, this is where we are able to enter our order to buy or sell a stock. If you're trying to trade something other than a stock, you'll have the option to change that with that first drop down, but otherwise you can go ahead and enter either the company or the ticker symbol. If you're not sure what the ticker symbol is for what you're trying to buy, do go ahead and Google it or use that search bar at the top right to make sure that you have the right stock. That first action box is where you select buy or sell. If you do not select either of these, nothing will show up in that order types box. So you do have to select either buy or sell. And then after you make that selection, then you can enter a quantity if you know how many shares you want to buy, and then the order types will show up for you. If you're not sure what these order types are, I do have videos going over all of these, so do go and watch those, but that is where you make that selection. Then we have time in force. I'll have to make another video on all of these, but most people will either choose day or good till canceled. You'll notice that when we just entered this, we did have to enter a quantity of the number of shares that we wanted. Fidelity does have fractional shares, so if you want to switch to that, you can either click that link at the top, or we can go down to this viewed simplified ticket, and this will open up a simpler version of that order placing form. So we would select buy again, and now we have the option to either do shares or dollars. So if you knew, for example, that you only wanted to invest $5, that is where you would enter that dollar amount. And in this case, we would then have $5 invested in Sony. If you select limit, then you have that box that pops up with the limit price. Again, if you're not sure what that is, we do have another video on the different order types. Something else that you can do with the fractional shares is that if you don't want to enter a dollar amount and you instead want to enter point something of a share, you can do that. So if you knew that you wanted half a share or 1.5 shares, you could just select shares and then type in that amount. For this example, I'm just going to do 1 share, but you could change that to whatever decimal you wanted. And then we would enter our limit price. And what's nice about Fidelity is that if you do something that's like kind of weird, when we go to the next screen, it's going to show us this little alert that's like, hey, the limit price that you set is actually higher than what the stock is right now. Are you sure you want to do that? Or do you want to go back and check? So if you do want to go back and edit your order once you see this review page, we're just going to scroll down, and instead of clicking on that place order button, we're going to click edit at the bottom, and that will take us right back to the previous screen with all of the information that we entered. So I'm going to go ahead and change that, and then I'll also just show you what it looks like when you do change it to multiple shares or a fractional share. It will change that total amount at the bottom so that you can see how much that stock is actually going to cost to buy. So I'm going to change that back to 1, and once we go ahead and click that preview order, we will see that that alert that we got previously is now gone. Once you take a look at this review page, if everything looks good to you, you can go ahead and click place order, and then we'll go back and see where we can actually see this order that we placed in our portfolio. So let's go ahead and select that. And the next page will give you a confirmation number. And from here, you can go to manage orders. You can also get to this page from those top tabs, but it's easiest right after you place an order just to go to this page, and you can see that it was filled at $96.64. If it was not able to fill at that price, it may say pending or something similar to that. That is because the order has not yet filled, but once it does fill, it should say filled at and whatever price. You can also look at a more detailed version of this. So if the order executed in several different trades, so maybe it bought some at $96.64 and it bought a little bit more at $96.63 or something, that breakdown would be underneath that bottom tab. Now, if we actually want to see this in our portfolio, we're going to select that positions tab at the top, and this will show you all of the stocks and ETFs and funds that you own within your accounts. So we'll see at the bottom where it's highlighted in yellow that we now own 1 share of Sony. This will also show you what the last price was, the daily gain and loss. All of that information is going to be on that main positions page. And I have it blocked out, but at the very bottom, you'll always be able to see your account totals. So we went over how to get to the trading page from that main navigation tab where we just clicked on accounts and trade and then trade. But once you're on an account page, you'll also see this black bar at the top. And this will bring up kind of a quick access window to do the exact same thing. So if we click on the trade one, it will pop down this drop down that basically has the same information that we had on that main trading page that we used. As of when I'm filming this, they don't have that fractional shares set up in this little window yet. So you would need to go back to that main trading page or click that first link at the bottom, and it will take you back to that exact same page that we used earlier in the video. If we go back up to that main navigation and we click on Active Trader Pro, this is going to open up the page for essentially their day trading platform. So this is going to be similar to Thinkorswim, but it's Fidelity's version instead of TD Ameritrade. So if that is what you signed up for Fidelity for, or that's just what you're looking for to be able to trade with, that is where you would find that, and you would be able to go and access the program from there. Now let's take a look at how to set up automatic dividend reinvestment. So we're going to go back to that accounts and trade tab at the top, and then we want to click on account options. From here, you'll again have access to those automatic transfers, but what we want to look at right now is dividends. So we're going to go to that second little expandable tab where it says reinvest dividends. We're going to click on dividends and capital gains. And from here, this is where we can actually change whether or not things are reinvested or just where we want that money to go. So you'll get a list of the different securities that you own, so different stocks or ETFs or funds that you have in your account. And you'll see that some of these say deposit to core account or reinvest in security. So all that means is, do you want the money that you make off of that to go back into your main account, or do you want it to be reinvested back into the stock that you bought? If you want to change any of these, you're going to click on that update option at the right. And so if you are looking at a fund, it's going to look similar to this page where you have these drop downs. You'll see that we have options both for what we want to do with dividends and what we want to do with capital gains. And if we go back and we select a stock or an ETF that has the option to do dividend reinvestment, the page looks similar but slightly different. So if you wanted to reinvest, you would just select that reinvest in security, and that would automatically set up those dividend reinvestments for you. And then you have a couple of check boxes at the bottom just asking what you actually want to apply that change to. So then you would click update and you would be good to go. If this video was helpful, be sure to subscribe to the channel, follow us on Instagram, and I will see you guys next time.